Jackie Robinson broke baseball's color barrier, he became part of American history. Without Jackie Robinson, the game of baseball wouldn't be the same. And without number 42, there wouldn't be a number 24. Willie Mays burst onto the scene 4 years after Robinson. Both players changed the game forever, and both ended up enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Today, all of baseball pays tribute to Jackie Robinson on the anniversary of his first game. Next. Here at Petco Park, it's Jackie Robinson Day. Like all other parks around the major leagues, it's also the final game of this 4-game series. Giants-Padres, welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, and it's powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants have to win today to split this 4-game series, and that would be a good thing. And they're going to hand the ball to a kid who's only making his second major league start.
Second major league start, and it's his first start on the road. So a lot of today's success obviously in the hands of Tyler Beede. Now, Tyler Beede in his first outing struggled a bit with his fastball command. We'll watch that closely. That will be a key. The guy he faces today for the Padres, another rookie. Joey Lucchesi, a product out of the Bay Area, a left-hander, which interesting, this is the 15th game for the Giants so far this year. It's the 10th time that they've faced a left-hander. So they've got their hands full because they don't know who this guy is,
right.
But again, neither do the Padres. So let the rookies reign.
No Posey and no Brandon Crawford, but you know what? They've been known to win games like that. All right, stay tuned. We'll take you to our NBC Sports Bay Area studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family. Only at Jack in the Box.
Here in San Diego, the Padres have taken the field. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open, so visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. Here in San Diego, a very comfortable 73 degrees, light winds, humidity perfect, and it's overcast. Here's the Giants lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Jackson, Panik, and McCutcheon. Nick Hundley will do the catching. He'll hit cleanup. Then it's Longoria, who had a nice night last night, followed by Pence, Belt, and Tomlinson, and Tyler Beatty making his second career start.
On the hill today for the Padres will be the rookie left-hander Joey Lucchesi, making his fourth start. Lucchesi, 24 years of age, big fella, 6'5", 227 pounds, out of Newark, California. Went to Chabot College and then on to Southeast Missouri State. 1-0 with a 1.72 ERA. He's off to a great start, just 16 base runners and 15 2/3. How does he do it? Well, he's got a high three-quarter release. You look at him, he really's got a lot of things in his motion that remind you of Clayton Kershaw. He stretches his arms over his head as if when Kershaw does it out of the stretch, and he's got a little rock back at his backside before he comes in, and then of course the arm slot, which is the high three-quarter. What does he throw you? He's going to give you a fastball that's going to go low to mid-90s. That has lots of movement. It's got arm side run, which means from a left-hander, this movement's going to go into a lefty, away from a righty. He's got a big curveball and a changeup, and a whole lot of confidence right now. 15th game for the Giants, 10th time they've seen a left-handed pitcher starting the game. Let's take a look at the defense the Giants will employ behind Lucchesi. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Spangenberg, Cordero, and Perella. Galvis and Villanueva on the left side, of Suaje and Headley on the right side, and Hedges, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs.
And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. A lot of stuff going on as this is hit high and deep into left center field, and at the wall and making the catch is Cordero. Thought he had a shot at it.
I did too, but what do we know? Just a little bit too much height perhaps, and it just gave Cordero just too much time to get underneath it.
So here's Panik. Panik in the series is 5 for 13. And the pitch, it's a call strike, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Behind the dish is Mike Malinsky, then it's Winters, Timmons, and Drake from first to third.
Yeah, Malinsky's, he's a low ball guy, and it's a tight zone. He'll miss breaking balls early in the game, but then he makes adjustments.
Slowly hit to first, where Headley will go to the bag, 2 outs.
But basically, Malinsky likes the knee-high location.
McCutcheon coming up. He hit his second in the game last night, and this is what it looked like.
You go and you hit the second deck from in that part of the ballpark, left center. That's a big one. And they asked him on the bench, "Did you get all that one?" He said, he gave them the look, the "yes, I did" look.
He's 2 for 10 in this series. And a call strike. Hitting at 214 overall.
Well, we talked about the "did you get that one?" Yeah, that's the "I got that one" good look right there. That is the universal "I got that one" good look.
miss, 1-2.
And that is a pretty standard question. When a guy hits a big one, somebody will ask him, did you get it all?
I don't know if I've ever gotten a truthful answer yet.
Well, Kevin Mitchell, I mean, he hit the ball 500 feet and he'd go, nah, got out of me a little bit. Saw some of our nation's finest up in the right field section today.
On the ground to third, where Villanueva's got it. His throw is in time, and that'll end the inning. Beatty coming out. It's 0-0. Pirela followed by Galvis and then Cordero. Villanueva will be the cleanup hitter. Oswahe is going to hit in the 5th spot. Headley, Spangenberger, and then Hedges. And Joey Lucchese will hit 9th.
On the hill today for the Giants will be the rookie right-hander Tyler Beede. Beede, you see what he did in his debut. He went 4 innings, just 3 hits allowed, but 5 walks allowed. He is a 24-year-old right-hander, 6'3", 210-pounder. He and Lucchese are separated by about a month, both 24 years of age. For Beede, when you take your at-bat, you're going to see a fastball that goes low to mid-90s, and he will 2 and 4 seam that fastball. He got a changeup and a curveball. Changeup is a circle change. Former first-round pick by the Giants in 2014.
So here's Jose Pirela. And it's up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Pirela at 304 with 7 runs batted in. Swinging a foul back. Galvis on deck, and then Frenchie Cordero.
One thing we liked about Beede when we saw him, and he had a little trouble with the command of his fastball, but he had lots of movement on that fastball. That last fastball really bored in on the hands of Pirela. He's not an easy guy to jam.
Pirela's 3 for 12 on this trip, or check that, on this homestand. And Mike Winter says, yeah, you went around. So that makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jammed, charging Longoria, and they got him. Nice play.
Good play indeed. Let's take a look at the rest of that Giants defense. Starting in their outfield from left to right will be Pence, Jackson, and McCutcheon. Best arm in right field. Tomlinson and Longoria, they'll be on the left side of the infield with Crawford getting a day off. Panic and Belt on the right side, and Nick Hundley, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs with Buster Posey with an off day.
Here's Galvis. Hitting at 309, a home run. 6 driven in. And a strike. He's 3 hits and 11 at bats in this series. He's going to foul back.
Coming right at him with that fastball. The other pitch that gave Beatty trouble, they never really established in his opening day, or his opening day assignment, was the changeup.
Pulled foul.
Ball, babe. The ball girls that they have here in San Diego, they're players. Softball players.
They can make the big leaguers look bad sometimes. So another 0-2 pitch coming up. Very high, 1-2. Frenchie Cordero waiting in the wings. Look out. It's 2-2.
Well, that's the thing about Beatty. I mean, he can cruise and hit spots, and all of a sudden he'll throw one up there and it isn't even close. I mean, it's pretty easy to take that pitch if you're in the batter's box trying to avoid getting hit. Not a good 1-2 pitch.
So 0-2 to 3-2.
When you're ahead 0-2, I mean, you just don't like to give a guy easy takes. And Beatty's given Galvis 3 of them to get to the full count.
High and foul and into the seats just to our left, and it remains 3-2. That'll go down as a 0-2 to a walk. And here's Cordero.
Yeah, winds up being a good at bat for Galvis. And now the Padres have some speed on the base paths.
And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Oh, that's a changeup, and that's a pitch he never really had. And that's a really big weapon for Beatty. The fact that he's getting that pitch over the plate early, that's a good sign. That's as good as it gets. The pitch cast is brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company.
Foul back at 93 miles an hour, and it's 0-2.
And those 2 pitches were perfect. I mean, the first pitch changeup locked him up. Then he comes back with 93 two-seam movement, and I mean, it's absolutely perfect on the outside corner at the knees. So the point being is that it's in there. For him to find that consistency with his arm slot will give a greater consistency to the strike zone, and that's when this guy's going to take off. Because he's got the stuff. But when you see him go from 0-2 to a walk, and all 4 of the pitches that were called balls weren't really close, he's not quite there yet.
Got him.
Again, another changeup, and I mean a dandy. So Cordero's going to walk back to the Padre dugout and he's going to say, "Who is this guy?" Another good changeup.
And that looked like a split. Kind of like the Lincecum. What was it, a split or a because it has the same movement?
It's got a little tail, runs away from the lefty, but that had some definite sink on it.
Here's Villanueva. Three for 7 in the series. One of those 3 hits a home run. Bottom of the first inning, just underway here at Petco Park. Sellout last night, not a sellout today, but a good crowd. Tell you where they're taking advantage of it today is out on the grass, out beyond right center field. Blankets, which you can't see there. The field, they have a big screen that they on the back of the hitter's eye. At least they used to.
Oh, they absolutely do. It's a big one. It's like going to the drive-in theater. They call that the park within the park, and it is a very cool thing. Out there by the statue of the greatest Padre of all time, Tony Gwynn.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mark Grant.
Yeah, or the Padre, the Friar.
Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
The mascot for the Padres, the Friar. There's Tony Gwynn's statue. It's beautiful. And what a great player he was. And yes, he was Mr. Padre.
Pitch number 20. If Freddie Galvis doesn't take off this inning, then this is just not a running team.
Well, they don't. I mean, they just don't really go very much at all. Padres have 4 stolen bases on the year. They've been thrown out 3 times, just 7 attempts. Giants have attempted 11. They've stolen 9.
And the guy that's been thrown out 3 times is the guy on first base. Got him. And that'll end the inning. Hundley to lead things off. With a luxury suite at AT&T Park, there's still A limited number available during the April 27th through 29th weekend games. And remember, there are 2 games on Saturday, the 28th, 105, 705, sfgiants.com/suites. Here's Hundley, and then Longoria, and then Pence in a 0-0 ball game.
Always love Sunday here in San Diego because you see a lot of the military here. Marines come down from Camp Pendleton.
Hundley takes a pitch high, 1 ball and no strikes.
I would not argue with that guy.
I would love to arm wrestle that guy, though.
But that's what a drill sergeant's supposed to look like, isn't it?
Looks like a mannequin.
He looks like the Under Armour mannequin.
Yeah, he's like breaking ball for a strike. I'll take every one of you guys on.
Yeah, and I bet he could too. My Lord,
I'd be
glad
afraid,
he's on our
I'd
side.
be afraid to ask that guy to go to the bathroom. You see one poor guy up there raising his hand. A ball and a strike. He takes wide, 2-1. No, you're exactly right. That is exactly what you're supposed to look like.
Well, if I was 18 and I was going to enlist, I'd want to look like that guy. That would be my goal.
Hundley shoots a base hit into left field. First hit for the Giants.
And we'll see Lucchesi out of the stretch for the first time. As you mentioned, Lucchesi, a big guy, and the scout report on him is that he's not very quick out of the stretch, but that doesn't usually tell you the whole story because left-handers can have a great move, which in effect holds you to that bag. And we don't know what kind of move he has yet.
Here's Longoria, who looks at a strike.
But Lucchesi is funky, and that little funkiness he had right there, that keep you kind of anchored to the bag. And that was a slide step.
Home run yesterday. Went a long ways, but 430.
He said he went back and looked at some film from him in 2016 and 2015 and thinks he has a resolve. He said for the first time this year I've gone up after making the correction, after seeing the film, first time he's gotten the batter's box and he's felt like he's been in control of the swing. There's Alonzo Powell, Giants hitting instructor. Pretty good move right there. Who's the best move you ever saw from the left side?
Probably Bob McClure.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. He'd pick guys off standing 2 feet from the bag.
Base hit, right field. Hundley is going to head on over to third.
Well, nice job taking that outside location and going the other way with it. I mean, that's what he's not been able to do because he's been pulling off the ball.
Here's Hunter Pence. Hunter trying to get it going. He's 2 for 10 in this series. Overall, just a shade under 200. And a breaking ball for a strike. Down low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Close. Talked about the zone today is tight, and Malinsky has been true to form. Very similar to the zone that we saw in last night's ball game with Rob Drake, the plate umpire, who's at third base today.
Pence didn't like it.
Well, only because it started out wide. I mean, you catch it wide of the strike zone from a big left-hander, there's no way it went over the plate. And last night's, his last at bat, there was a pitch that was called. It was 6 inches farther outside than that. It's a horrible call. The problem is when you have a pitch called like that, a slow curveball, you got to get out there. And when you're jumping out there looking for that big slow curveball, you are susceptible to a fastball. It can eat you up.
Got him.
First strikeout for Lucchesi, and it comes with a runner at third base and nobody out. So you got to believe that's what he was pitching for. Big curveball.
Belt. Belt hitting 270. Out of play. Belt in the series has 2 hits and 5 at bats.
Well, he hasn't got in one of those runs yet where he barrels everything. I mean, a lot of his hits right now are up the bat, and he's not quite locked in to where he can be. When he gets hot, he can carry a club for a month.
Hunley at third, Longoria at first. Villanueva can't quite come up with it. It wasn't hit quite high enough. What a good effort. It's 1-2. So Belt has another opportunity.
Well, here's the effort you're talking about, and a tip for young players: when you come over to the sideline, slide to protect yourself as you get close to that wall.
Outside, it's 2-2.
Good 1-2 pitch right there. That's exactly where Lucchesi wanted to throw it. That was not an easy take.
So it'll be a challenge. Pirela's got it. Here's Hunley coming in. Here's the throw, and he beat it, and it's 1-0. So Belt with a sacrifice fly. Would really prefer to have no replays today, no reviews.
Yeah, we're not really trusting the reviews.
Sick of talking about it. I don't want any.
Giants in last night's ball game had a review that went against them, and we clearly thought that New York had gotten the call wrong on review. But a nice situational at bat for Brandon Belt. That a bit.
Tomlinson takes outside and low. With Beatty on deck, it's 1-0 Giants. Belt's RBI, his 4th of the year. Right there. to even the count. Well, he does have a lot of motion once he comes to the plate.
Yeah, it really reminds you of Kershaw. You didn't think that they were going to ever be able to duplicate that mode. A little funkier.
1 and 2, or make it 2 and 2.
But still a similar collapse of the backside, then gets right back up on top in a high 3/4 position with that arm. He's not a guy you pick up early in the box.
Longoria now will take off. And he got him swinging to end the inning. Giants on the board. A run on 2 hits. Swahe is going to lead things off.
Finance company.
Giants with a 1-0 lead. Beautiful yard. They did it right, although they tweaked it in a few areas, but overall they've done a great job with this place. So much so that our fans love coming here.
Well, it's a great place to come down. All right, smile, Sarge. A couple of drill sergeants getting a selfie. Our nation's finest, and boy, they look the part.
Is that the guy right there that we're not going to mess with?
Yeah. Well,
we're not going to mess with either of them. But
no.
Here's a Swahe. And a strike.
The Dean family.
The Deans are here.
Rob and Trina Dean and their daughters Mackenzie and Madison.
Hit up the middle and a base hit. So back in the stretch for Beatty. Here's Headley. Headley has started out the season, as you can see on that graphic, he's 1 for 23. He's 0 for 3 in this series. And he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Spangenberg's on deck, and then Austin Hedges. Very high. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Kind of underneath that changeup just a bit. Looks much more relaxed in this start than he did in his first start. Understandably, your first start in the big leagues, I mean, you don't know what your body's going to do. You're so amped up.
Swing, you're going to miss.
And he's got that changeup where he didn't really have it in his 4 innings of work in his debut.
Got him.
Back-to-back changeups. And I always believe, I mean, you can't do that unless you've got a good one. 3rd strikeout for Beatty. And I can guarantee that they're talking about that changeup in the Padre dugout.
His best pitch right now.
This is a good one. You know, we saw Buster Posey, who caught Beatty in his debut. He kept calling that pitch, and he never really established it. He threw a few good ones, but it was more off and out of the strike zone.
Here's Spangenberg, who takes low. 1 ball and no strikes.
But Posey kept calling it, and now we know why.
Buster will watch this one along with his teammate Brandon Crawford for now. Swing, gonna miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know the other thing too about a guy who's got a good changeup. He just impressed Headley with back-to-back changeups. He gets a strikeout, but he impressed everybody in that dugout to the point where they're going to go up there and it's going to be in their mind when they're hitting. And that's what a good changeup will do. And you kind of get caught in between. Makes you late on fastballs.
Get on the ground to panic. That's 1. Not in time.
So tough to double up Spangenberg because he's so fast and hitting from the left side. Tomlinson on the exchange. Close, but no review.
I said today, no reviews. Here's Hedges. And a strike.
Night and day difference with Beatty in this start. And I think right now, from what we've seen today, I think he throws better out of the stretch than the windup. A little more compact. If you ask young pitchers, rookies, what do you prefer, the motion or the stretch? And most of them will say motion. You ask a veteran who's been in the game 6, 7, 8, 10 years, what do you like better, the stretch or the motion? And most often they'll say the stretch.
And he will step off, and Panic got to the bag a little late.
Well, and everything about that play was just late. Beatty was stunned by it. And then when he did make the throw, he threw high. So that goes down as the jump of the year for Asuaje. His first steal of the year. Or Spangenberg, I beg your pardon.
And this is a little jam shot pop-up behind home plate. 0-2. And a high fastball. So kind of a waste pitch. It's 1-2. Two and two. First base is open. A little nubber. And that'll end the inning. Hey, Beaty's going to lead things off.
For a location near you, visit Lenardi's.com or find us on Facebook. Lenardi's, quite simply the best.
Here in San Diego, very close to the Gaslamp District. It's a 1-0 lead for the Giants. Nice 4-game series and the second road trip of the year. Giants will come back 2 more times. Padres will be in San Francisco on the next homestand. So will the Dodgers. Giants are going to play the Dodgers every homestand.
Well, it seems that way.
Seem like it. Here's Beatty. Watch Beatty in batting practice. He will at least show you that he can hit a little bit then. As he takes a called strike. Jackson on deck. And the next pitch is down low. It's Cheryl. Tyler's mom is the one with the camera. Tyler's wife, Cheryl, is Allie, is the one with the hat on. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Got him.
Well, he finished him off with a nice curveball. I mean, striking out on Lucchese's curveball right now, I mean, that is not that shameful, especially when you've seen it for the first couple times. That's a good one.
It is a good one. Jackson hit a ball to deep left center field that was tracked down by Cordero, the center fielder. He'll take a pitch high. Panic on deck. There's a strike. We sit here, it's such a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and we look at the scoreboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games have been postponed in the Midwest and in the East.
I've never seen that many cities.
Little nubber into center field, and it's going to fall. So Jackson hits one ball hard. It's an out. Nubs one, and he's got a hit. And here's Panic.
Well, they call that baseball. But, I mean, it is possible to have an out that feels pretty good. We saw it in Jackson's first at bat to hit one to the wall. That felt pretty good.
Yeah, it did. These are the cities, by the way, that had games. Detroit, Cleveland, Minnesota, Kansas City, and Chicago. So all you got to do is look on the map, and it's like kind of like just a general area right in the middle of our country.
And it's heading east.
And it is headed east. You're right.
I mean, most of the games back east have already been played, so they've kind of avoided the rain out possibilities. And we don't know if that front's going to stick around the eastern seaboard for a day or two, but Midwest suffered.
And you got the Yankees in Detroit, as this is hit sharply. Headley, a nice play. That's one, and that's two. Boy, the difference is first and third instead. Nope, double play.
down on the farm. And the guy who's absolutely lighting it up is Mac Williamson, who had a great spring, took his assignment, went back to Sacramento, and look what he's doing. In 8 games, 14 for 28, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs, slugging percentage 1,143, on base at 611. That's what you do. You go down there and put up numbers, and sooner or later, he will be back in the big leagues. That's our Subaru down on the farm.
Here's number 42. And it's outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, I like that. Everybody in baseball today is going to be wearing number 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson.
Strike to Lucchesi, who's 0 for 6 on the season.
Number 42. The last Giants player to wear number 42, Kirk Reeder. Good changeup.
I mean, we had to think about that for a long time, and then when we heard it, it made perfect sense. Well, and strikeout number 4 for Beatty.
Well, on Saturday the 28th, 7:05 game, it's a new time. And on Saturday the 28th, it's going to be a doubleheader. First 25,000 fans will receive a Brandon Crawford Gold Glove gnome presented by AAA to commemorate the 3rd straight Gold Glove that Crawford has received. You need tickets? Go to sfgiants.com.
Pirella takes a called strike.
Nice first pitch curveball. Reminder to those who had a ticket for the Friday, April 6th game, your ticket is now good for the 1:05 start on Saturday the 28th against the Dodgers.
Bang, bang, nothing in 2.
This is a night and day difference between today and the feel that Beatty has had on the ball and the command that he has had in his first start. Night and day difference. The difference is he doesn't have all the adrenaline that he had in his opening assignment.
Poke foul is. He really had to reach out to foul that pitch off. Big chopper. Longoria to Belt. This game is available to stream on NBCSportsBayArea.com and the NBC Sports app for mobile and tablet. Stream the Giants on the go wherever you are brought to your local NorCal Honda dealers. Elvis drew a walk, and he takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing, and gonna miss. 1 and 2.
Oh, he's getting them all over. I mean, right now Beatty's got to feel the fastball, the changeup, the curveball, cutter.
Up high. Two pitch. Here it is. In the dirt. 3 and 2. This will be the payoff pitch. And he walked him. He's walked Galvis twice for the only 2 walks in this game.
Well, he was ahead 0-2 in the first at bat. Here he was ahead 1-2. So a bit frustrating for Beatty.
Cordero struck out in the first. Here he lines it to right. And that's a base hit. So here's Villanueva. Villanueva struck out. So Beatty in a little bit of trouble. And it's all happened after 2 outs. Into the gap, and nobody's there. Cordero, who can run, he's going to score, and it's 2-1. So Cordero and Villanueva getting after the first pitch.
We saw the Padres do this earlier in this series. Just get really aggressive the second, third time through the lineup on that first pitch. I mean, they're just laying in the bushes, looking for anything that's going to be in the big part of the strike zone and jumping on it.
Suaje had a base hit in the second inning. So they switch it up and go with an off-speed pitch on the first pitch. .52 pitches for Beatty. Remember, he had Galvis really down in the count, and then he walked him. That's what started this thing.
And I'm sure that's what's frustrating to him.
Down low.
Everything's going according to plan. You got a nice rhythm, a good feel on everything, and then all of a sudden, walk, boom, boom, and now you're pitching for your life.
Tomlinson snuck in behind Villanueva, then had to reach across his body to keep that ball from going into center field. There's a strike. Got him, and that'll end the inning.
With the fastball.
Padres take the lead. It's 2-1 here in San Diego. By Xfinity high-speed internet. The strikeout to end the inning to Aswahe was at 93. Here's McCutcheon. And a called strike.
So Joey Lucchese going to try and put up a shutdown inning. Momentum is a funny thing in this game, and it can go back and forth. One dugout to the next, one dugout to the next. You can gather momentum with offense. You can gather it with defense. You can gather it with a shutdown inning. And you can lose it quickly.
McCutcheon behind in the count, 1-2. And a little pop-up out of play.
How many at-bats did you need to get comfortable with the guy?
Facing a guy?
Yeah. To where you could have a pretty good belief in your plan.
Probably a couple. Depending upon how long the at-bats went. But yeah. See 8 pitches, 10 pitches. Unless they're all fastballs. But you get a nice long at bat, and that ought to do it for you.
I mean, right now, I could name any number of pitchers that you face in your generation, and you'll remember his stuff. If I say to you, Burt Blyleven, immediately in your eye, you see Burt Blyleven.
Sure. And not be that thrilled about it. Got him. Kind of tied him up with a breaking ball in on his hands.
I mean, there aren't any guys that can throw curveballs and be effective with them up, and Lucchese has done that today. A strikeout from Hunter Pence. Here he gets a strikeout from McCutcheon.
Hundley with a line drive to left field for a base hit.
Well, the point being, though, this is Giants' second at bat against Lucchese, and they saw him for the first time their first at bat. But now they should have a pretty good idea of what his fastball does, what his breaking ball does, what he's getting over.
Well, there is a reason why that third time around is tough.
I think that third time around is when you learn to pitch as a pitcher. You can't rely on stuff. You've got to rely on location, change of speed, movement. Mr. Hundley was trying to tie it up there on that 2-0 count.
Yes, he was. Maybe pulled off just a little bit. Hundley's got another hit. Well, check out the Sharks and the Ducks, and it'll be Game 3 at 7:30 tomorrow. Pregame live will start at 7. And where is it? Well, it's on NBC Sports California. There's nothing like Sharks playoff hockey. Here's Longoria, who lined a single into right field in the second inning. And he takes a breaking ball down low. He's looking at Ron Wotus, who runs through a set of signs. And Hundley gets chased back.
But Casey had good numbers coming into the start, and you can see why. He had good stuff. He's had nice command of it.
Runs that inside for a ball.
Throw a little funkiness into it. Funkiness is good if you're not exposing your arm to unnecessary stress points. There's Ron Wotus.
Funkiness is good. Yes. Longoria now can sit on something, and he does by watching it go by. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's your high strike. It's 2-2.
Well, every time it's been called a strike, there hasn't been one Giant player that's been happy about it. Right above the belt. Yeah, I agree with you.
And he got him with a breaking ball.
Well, the Dodgers series will close on Sunday the 29th with a 1:05 start. First 7,500 kids will receive a pair of Hunter Pence socks, courtesy of Central Oregon Visitors Association. You need tickets? Go to sfgiants.com.
Here's Pence. Pence was Lucchese's first strikeout victim in the second. This is rocketed right past Galvis for a base hit. So Pence waited on that nicely. And now it's up to Belt, who had a sacrifice fly in the second.
There's the weight, gets that foot down, the hands stay back. Kind of a get it in first pitch breaking ball, and Hunter Pence was sitting on it. Nicely done.
Belt waiting. And he waited nicely, but he fouled it back. Hundley at second. Pence at first.
Close.
Longoria's thinking, all right, well, wait a minute. That was a strike on me.
Well, I think that was a better pitch than the strike that was called a strike on Longoria. I mean, this is a fastball at the top of the strike zone. The pitch that was called a strike to Longoria was a big balloon curveball, and it finished at the top of the strike zone. So probably went across him, just right across the letters of his uniform. That was a good breaking ball.
1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Colby Tomlinson is on deck. And a full count, so that's what Belt does. Tell you what, if he could just get one down the right field line, he could run for a couple of days.
Well, with the speed the Giants have on the base pass and a 2-out jump, you might get both guys to score. It's a lot of room.
Way into the gap in right center. Runners are going to go. The pitch. And that'll end the inning. The difference is Villanueva's 2-out hit, and the Giants cannot come up with one.
May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
Well, the 2018 All-Star Teacher, brought to you by Provident Credit Union, is here, and you can be part of it. You vote at NBCSportsBayArea.com/AST for your favorite candidate. The 12th season of the NBC Sports Bay Area All-Star Teacher Program has always been a winner. It recognizes that teachers make it a difference indeed. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school, so please vote.
Here's Headley. Headley takes a strike. Overshift is on for Headley. Both young pitchers have had their strikeouts. Beatty's got 5. Lucchese's got 6. As this is pulled foul.
And you see the shift the Giants have employed defensively.
In the dirt. To 2-2.
60 pitches into it.
And a foul back.
Should be 60 pitches into it by the at the conclusion of the 4th inning. So he's had to have a little extra work. Pitch count wise.
3-2.
Changeup just missed a bit wide. And this becomes a big pitch. And that was an easy take. So the third walk of the day for Beatty, and this one comes in a leadoff situation.
And he had him 0-2.
And he had him 0-2. The 3 walks he's given up, 2 of the guys he had 0-2, and the other one he had a 1-2, and he lost him.
Spangenberg reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning. Headley not a threat to steal. One ball and no strikes.
I mean, he's just missing a little bit outside on that outside corner to lefties with that fastball and the changeup. Pitching for that ground ball, trying to get a double play. Spangenberg tough to double up. He proved that in his last at bat.
Chases a pitch in the dirt. It's a ball and a strike. Sun comes out here at Petco Park. Foul back. Good fastball. It's 1-2.
The park within the park.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
And you can see the back of the batter's eye where that television screen is, where everybody can watch the game. Big screen.
For Beatty, this will be pitch number 67. Runner goes. Hit into the gap into left center field. Headley is going to be waved in. It's 3-1.
Well, we were talking about Hunter Pence in his last at bat, how he saw a breaking ball, waited well. Well, this is pretty much what you could say the same thing about Spangenberg in this 2-strike count. Breaking ball's got a little height on it, but not fooled on it. I mean, he waited well. And when you're taking a breaking ball the opposite gap, you got to be feeling pretty good about your swing. So the Padres add on with the at bat from Spangenberg, and that's going to bring out Kurt Young, the Giants pitching coach, to talk to his young right-hander. And the Giants are getting that bullpen going.
So the hitter will be Hedges. Hedges rolled one back to Beatty in the second. There's Maranta. Big curveball high. 1 ball and no strikes. the hands of Hedges, and a swing and a miss. So Beatty just trying to limit the damage.
Yeah, he should be pitching for the strikeout here. We're on second, nobody out.
Pitcher's on deck as that pitch is wide. Three and one.
Well, I got to believe if he walks Mr. Hedges, his day will be over.
Tomlinson out behind second in shallow center field. So that'll bring up Lucchesi. Lucchesi struck out in the third. And a called strike. No reason for Lucchesi to bunt. So if you're the Giants, you just have to figure he is going to swing the bat.
Yeah, he's showing bunt, but nobody's buying it, and there's the swing. His reputation is not that good about his ability to handle the bat.
As Mike mentioned, from Newark.
Went to Chabot Junior College. Where they clearly had a DH there.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, might have had a bunting coach. He's Perella. Perella has bounced out to Longoria twice.
Watch out for that first pitch.
Down low. So since Cordero and Villanueva went after first pitches and singled and doubled, Hundley and Beatty have mixed it up since then.
Well, and if you have the command and you know they're going to be aggressive on you on a first pitch, that you can use that to your advantage if you're the pitcher. Just pitch to a corner.
Hooked down the left field line. Is anybody there? Nope. And it's a ground rule double, and it's 4-1.
We have been impressed with Jose Perella and his ability to hit the inside pitch in this series. Yeah, that's an off-speed pitch, I know, but I mean that's up above the hands, and he just tomahawks this thing, stays inside it beautifully, and he almost knocks it out of here. One hopper over the wall.
Here's Galvis. Galvis has walked twice. No balls and 1 strike. Both teams now with 5 hits, so you can see what happens when you have the same amount of hits. It's when you get them. Get up the middle and a base hit. Jackson will eat it, and it's 5-1. And that's going to be it. You know what Bruce Bochy was doing? He wanted to see if he could get through this inning, because the pitcher spot is the number 2 spot coming up. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
On a beautiful day in San Diego, we're going to see a new pitcher out of Bruce Bochy's bullpen. It's going to be Reyes Maranta, 7th time that he's come in. And he has been a breath of fresh air in that Giants pen. 10 strikeouts in 7 2/3, just a couple of hits. He hasn't walked 7, but his stuff has been electric. Mid to high 90s, kind of a hybrid breaking ball between a curveball and a slider. We were talking about his at-bat last night. He had his first at-bat in the big leagues against a submarine pitcher, and we were asking about the day. He goes, well, Bochy said I couldn't swing. I had to take everything.
Well, that's not fair. So here's Cordero, 1 for 2. There's a called strike. One run on 5 hits for the Giants, 5 runs on 6 hits. Giants scored first. Padres now have scored 5 unanswered. There's another strike, 1 and 2. Runner goes on the ground. Panic to Belt, and that'll end the inning. 3 runs in the inning. It's 5-1, and we'll be back. Unite with the Warriors night, presented by Pete's Coffee. And you get a game ticket, you get a Giants Warriors reversible scarf, sfgiants.com/special events. Here it's 5-1 San Diego as Tomlinson will lead things off. Tomlinson, and then a pinch hitter, which will be Gorky Hernandez, and then Jackson. So Tomlinson trying to get something going for the Giants here in the 5th. That's high, 2-0. Giants will take a base runner any way they can. So here's Lucchese throwing pitch number 66. And it's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1. Tomlinson will try to get a good pitch here, 3 and 1. Otherwise, go for the walk. And he's going to bunt this one foul. A little too much hang time and then too much spin.
I like the idea, though. I mean, he knows the importance of getting on this sack here. Giants down 4 runs. Leadoff hitter in an inning is so important when you're trying to come back. So they played the third baseman back. Tomlinson sees it, and there's the pop-up, and there's the spinach you're talking about.
Foul back. So Tomlinson will see another pitch.
And that's the beauty of a 4-run lead for Lucchese. I mean, he just can rear back and say, here, hit it. If you hit it out, I still have a 3-run lead. This young left-hander's been good today.
Hit into left center field. Cordero's got a beat on it. 1 out. And here's Hernandez. So Gorky will pinch hit.
He's been good.
Yeah, he's off to a really nice start for not playing a whole lot. He's got 6 hits and 14 at bats. And he's 2 for 5 as a pinch hitter.
When a guy gets it going good, you can just see his demeanor in the batter's box. I mean, that's something a pitcher sees. You see confidence. You can almost smell it. And Gorky Hernandez's confidence in that batter's box.
And he sees the breaking ball for a strike. Jackson on deck. Swing, you're gonna miss. 1 and 2.
Good curveball. Again, successful with a curveball that's up in the strike zone. And it's not often we say that, but we've said it a lot today with Lucchese.
Got him.
Right back in on his hands. Big rainbow. Strikeout number 7.
Here's Jackson. Hey.
Take a look at his collapse in the backside. Then he's right over the top, and you just don't see him early. It's the same thing we say about Clayton Kershaw. A lot of similarities.
Think about the left-handed curveballs the Giants have seen.
I was looking at statistically, the Giants have seen more curveballs than any other team in the big leagues. I mean, it has everything to do with the opponent you face, obviously. Not everybody has a curveball.
Pulled on the ground, foul.
But it just seems that way, especially in the National League West. And we're not talking about run-of-the-mill curveballs. Kershaw, Hill, Wood, Godley,
Corbin, Robbie Ray,
and this young man today, Joey Lucchesi. Good curveballs.
Giants. Marco Gonzalez beat him. Left-hander.
Seattle.
I think that was on the home opener. Two and two.
Then we talked about the importance of a changeup and how it can make your fastball look better. Well, you can say the exact same thing about the big curveball of Lucchesi. It has enhanced his fastball. And Austin Jackson late on that fastball and had everything to do with the curveball he saw before it.
And that pitch is low, so it's 3 and 2. That'll end the inning. 8 strikeouts. It remains 5-1. Padres.
Live at 5:30 p.m. and the Giants going to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks, first of 3 down in the desert. The road trip continues. Also streaming live on the NBC Sports app. So don't miss anything about the Giants this season. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and NBCSportsBayArea.com. New pitcher now for the Giants is going to be the left-hander Josh Osich. Osich, like Morante, he pitched in last night's ball game. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. The numbers for Osich.
High and deep, and gone on the first pitch. And for Villanueva, that's home run number 5.
Up there looking for a strike, a first pitch challenge at 94, and he knew it immediately. That was loud.
Here's Aswahe. And he takes a low, 1 ball and no strikes. Aswahe singled in the second, struck out looking in the third. Pitch is low again. It's 2-0.
I mean, that'll rattle your cage a little bit. Coming out of the bullpen, you want to get ahead, challenge that guy first pitch, boom, out of the ballpark, and that'll make you nibble with that fastball.
And a swing and a foul back. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Chase Headley on deck. 2-2. And that fastball is high. 3-2.
Hey, we were talking earlier about the rainouts that we saw around baseball today. 6 games rained out. The Yankees were in Detroit. They got rained out of 2 games. They're going to play a day-night doubleheader.
And the walk. This was the home run by Villanueva. We don't show these unless we're impressed. 110.
The most anybody is, the highest velocity anybody has had this year is Giancarlo Stanton at 117. But that 110 was loud.
Here's Headley. And that hit him. So I think Mr. Osage would like to get a redo, start out this inning.
Well, home run, a walk, and a hit batsman. And figure a way how you can minimize this damage here, because this inning is seriously starting to go against you.
Here's Spangenberg. Spangenberg, a fielder's choice and a double. One ball and no strikes.
Just finish that point about the storm that took the Midwest today and just washed out a lot of baseball heading to the East Coast. Tomorrow the Mets and the Yankees are both in New York, and it's supposed to be 100% chance of heavy rains. They've already canceled the game in Boston tomorrow between the Red Sox and the Orioles.
Swing and a miss. One ball and one strike.
I mean, that's according to MLB.com. When was the last time you saw that?
Yeah, that's true. We're always surprised when they call a game at noon, let alone the day before. And on the foul back, it's 1-2.
I mean, it's just a scheduler's nightmare. Because the games are going to get played. And it's not like you can play them in an old-time doubleheader where you play one and then 25 minutes later you play the other. You're going to play day nights, 1 o'clock, first one, 7 o'clock, the second one. Giants are going to have to do that April 28th.
And Spangenberg is out swinging. Even the split doubleheaders aren't too bad because it's taking a 3-hour game, right? You start at 1, you get done at 4, and that's about the time we'd be getting to the ballpark anyway. So the next game will start at 7. It gives the people that work at the ballpark a chance to clean it out a little bit. But it's not a perfect scenario, that's for sure. There's a breaking ball to Hedges.
Well, and Major League Baseball's gotten smarter with it too. They allow a team to bring up an extra pitcher, and actually on that day you're carrying 26 guys.
They brought in an extra announcer that I'm aware of.
It's a day where you drink lots of coffee.
Pulled foul. Yep. Scared him a little bit, even though that screen is there.
Well, I think they appreciate the netting. I mean, that was right there, and they weren't even paying attention.
Oh, on the phone, taking selfies.
What was that?
Where are we? Oh,
That
we're
would
in
have
the game.
That would have been bad. Thank you, screen. Oh yeah, everything's okay. Last year we'd have had a problem.
Well, I mean, the excuse, Mike, is going to be, well, we knew the screen is there, so we don't have to pay attention. That's not the story I'm going with.
No. That'll make you shake your head.
Hit to Tomlinson, who shovels to Panic, who flips to Belt, and that'll end the inning. Villanueva's home run makes it a 6-1 ball game. Such as MLB.TV, Game of the Day, pitch tracking. Download MLB at Bat today. Well, this one started out well for the Giants, but then the Padres kind of ruined the party. They've scored 6 straight runs. And they've got it with hits when you need to get hits. So it'll be Panic to lead things off. Panic is bounced out twice. Security guy was just kind of twiddling his thumbs, and then the game started out in center field.
Yeah, he lost his mind a little bit. Having fun out there. It's a beautiful day. It's easy to do.
And for those of you watching this game, if you're in the Midwest where all the bad weather is, sorry.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are going to be experiencing it tomorrow on the East Coast, sorry. Panic is going to bounce out, 1 down. Those had 3 ground balls to the first baseman. Here's McCutcheon. First pitch to McCutcheon is a swing and a miss. McCutcheon is bounced out and struck out. Fouls this one off of the helmet on Austin Hedges, who's looking at it now. It's 0-2.
Take a look at the hang, and you know it's been a recurring theme all day long. The amount of pitches that have been up in the strike zone, especially breaking balls. And for Lucchesi, that's been a strength. The Giants have not been able to do anything. Usually you see high breaking balls, they get hit. And they get hit hard.
And McCutcheon goes around for strikeout number 9. He's got 2 hits. He's been a bright spot.
Well, I think he's been owed a few. As good as he's been swinging the ball, and he's had nothing to show for it.
Totally agree. And he takes the pitch high. 1 ball and no strikes. Day off tomorrow for the Giants. They will spend that in Phoenix, an area that they're very familiar with. And it's off the plate. It's 2-0.
You know, it's amazing how when you go to a city that has a dome, you don't even look to see what the forecasted weather is.
Not unless you brought your clubs.
Unless you brought your clubs.
Which we stopped doing that about, what, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
On the ground to third, and Villanueva with a wrestling job throws him out. Padres 6, Giants 1. Bottom of the 6th inning. Sounds like Matt Caesar is going to pinch hit. I know that because he's number 42.
Good old number 42. Well, everybody is good old number 42 today. As baseball salutes the great Jackie Robinson. And on Jackie Robinson Day, everybody wears the number that Jackie wore. It's a great tradition. I think it was 15 years ago when they retired his number across the board, every franchise.
And swinging to Caesar and missing.
So 6 impressive innings from Joey Lucchese. First time Giants have seen him.
Foul.
Lucchese, 9 strikeouts, no walks in 6 innings of work. And for a Bay Area kid to have an outing like that against a team that perhaps he followed, that has to mean a lot to him.
Yeah.
But, you know, today, this is now in the game when it kind of messes with you because everybody out there is wearing number 42. And I just looked down at in the bullpen to see who was coming in. Well, it's going to be good old number 42.
Yeah. You almost have to recognize guys by body size or how they move. You try. Certainly for us, it's much easier to do that with the Giants players, but visitors, it's going to be a little rough. See, now that, to me, body-wise, looks like Jordan Lyles.
And that's who it is. Thank you, truck.
Yeah, thank you. In the dirt. A lot of 1-2, 0-2 to 3-2s in this game.
Not good for a defense.
Tap foul. Jose Perella's on deck. Tap foul again. Got him. Yeah, the reason everybody's wearing number 42 is that's the real 42. It was quite a time for him. Maybe talk to the people around Southern California. He was known more as a football player at SC.
UCLA.
That school too.
To Pasadena City College and UCLA. He and his brother Mac, they were great athletes. I mean, I grew up in Pasadena, and their legend was all over everywhere you went.
Pereira got a big double in the 4th inning. He waves at a pitch, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Up getting called up, and he was in Montreal, correct?
Yeah, Montreal Royals were the AAA affiliate with the Brooklyn Dodgers.
On the ground and a base hit. And for the Padres, that's their 8th hit.
Perello's had a nice series. Derek Law finishing up his warm-up throws. Well, you know, that was one of the cool things about going to Montreal for the first time is Jackie Robinson's stories are everywhere. And we first played Jerry Park in 1976, and a lot of the people that worked that ballpark, they were there when he was playing. And boy, did they have some vivid memories of Jackie Robinson as to how dynamic he was.
Osich with a pitch high.
And you really get the feeling of just how great he was, the way that he was remembered in Montreal.
Really had a great job. There's no chance of throwing him out. It's his second steal.
Most bases are stolen off the pitcher. And a high leg kick from Osich, very deliberate. And I think Perello, I mean, he was going on first move. He had that one-way lead to second base. First move he saw from the pitcher, he was gone. But you know, I mean, this is, I think, is a bad stat in baseball, because Nick Hundley gets penalized for that. Right. And you look and say, well, I mean, how many guys have you thrown out? Well, I don't even know what his percentage is, but it affects that. And that's something that is a stat that follows a catcher around. I mean, I wish there was a way that they could clean that up a little bit.
Tomlinson will throw out Galvis, bringing Cordero to the plate.
I mean, if you could have a way that you could record the unload times from a pitcher, and if you have a staff that has consistent unload times below 1.25 seconds, which is the normal time, and your catcher's not throwing anybody out, well, then guess what? That's his fault. Yep. But if you have a staff that their unload times 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, they're not doing that catcher any favors, and it's totally reflective of that catcher, and that's not fair.
Here's Frenchie Cordero, and he fouls this one out of play.
But in this era of data and cybermetrics, I mean, I really think baseball ought to figure out a way that they could protect that reputation of a catcher a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to ignore, I'm sure, for catchers who have to catch staffs that are very slow to the plate. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
I mean, some pitchers, they just can't do it. It's just they try it, and when they get to a slide step or a quick delivery, it completely screws their mechanics up. And they have a concession in their mind. Well, I'm gonna throw where I can control my stuff, where I can get the best stuff possible, and if that means I'm more deliberate, then so be it.
Swinging a foul at the plate.
We used to watch Rob Nin and Tim Lincecum both. I mean, they were as slow as anybody out of the stretch. But Nin, who struggled with staying back his whole career, I mean, he just basically says, all right, fine. You steal, I'm going to strike the next guy out. And he could do it. And so could Lincecum. But unless you're a guy that can strike somebody out, when you give up that 90 feet to a stolen base because you're slow, you should be responsible for it.
This will be pitch number 37 for Osich. Remember, there's a day off tomorrow. If that were not the case tomorrow, then Osich would not have had to throw this many pitches. Down low, 1-2. Osich looks to second. Low again. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Just a wee bit inside. Osich going to take a little walk. He thought he had strike 3.
And this will be a 3-2 pitch. And it'll be a base hit. It's 7-1 on the base hit by Cordero. And Bruce Bochy's coming out. Osich had Cordero 0-2. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back. Derek Law is going to try to slow things down. You see the numbers for Derek Law. This will be his second appearance. That's his numbers in Sacramento.
Had a save. 4-pitch guy, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup.
So Villanueva is going to be the hitter. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Runner goes outside, unleashed throw, and that'll be late.
Another slow unload time. You know, one thing about Bruce Bochy, he was an old catcher, and that's something he doesn't miss. When a pitcher's not giving that catcher a chance, that will be talked about on the plane and head into Phoenix. I can guarantee you.
Tap foul on the 3-0 pitch. Three and two. There's a big swing and a miss.
He was going to swing no matter what.
He's thinking about another one. Did a home run in his last at bat.
Eight years in the minor leagues. Villanueva hit .269. Last year, 20 home runs in El Paso.
So the walk, and here's Aswahe. Fifth walk in the game. And a call strike. And it's no balls and one strike. Outfield straight away. Giants have been standing out there for a while. It's been that way since the second inning. A lot of pitches thrown in every inning that the Padres have been at the plate. Edie threw a lot of them. Osich threw a lot of them. And a strike. It's 1-2. And this is tapped foul.
Good curveball from Law. We've been talking about the back and forth we've seen between Sacramento and San Francisco already with pitchers, and that's just the way it's going to be. And I don't mean just in San Francisco. With the 10-day disabled list now, it's a great way to keep your staff fresh. If you're in AAA, I mean, not a bad thing to just stay in a hotel all year.
On the ground to Belt. And Belt will beat Aswahe to the bag, and that'll end the inning. Through 6. 7-1 Padres. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Things are looking good for the Giants. They led 1-0, and then the Padres decided to score in every inning since the third. Beatty went 3 2/3. Hundley's got a couple of hits, and Villanueva has a double, and he's got a home run. And Lucchesi was very good. Here's Jordan Lyles when it's time for a change. Thanks Beatty, oil change and auto service. Your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Take a look at the numbers for Jordan Lyles. 7th game. A 1.93 ERA, 10 strikeouts in 9 1/3. He's been very good.
First pitch is high. Longoria with a base hit in the second. And then Lucchesi struck him out in the fourth. 2 balls and no strikes. Tap to third, and that's a foul ball. We do have some other changes. Spangenberg moves from left to second base, and Matt Caesar goes in to play left field.
That doesn't sound like that big a deal in the grand scheme of things, but it's totally of this generation.
Hit high and deep into center field. It is off the bottom of the wall. And Longoria is going to drop anchor into second base.
Yeah, the slump's over for Mr. Longoria. He has found his swing, folks.
Well, that's good news.
It is good news.
They need it.
Last night, a home run, a double. Today, base hit, a double, almost hits it out to dead center. Had 2 hits in the first game, so that's 6 hits in the series for Longoria. And he finally got off the interstate. He's now hitting at 204.
Hunter Pence is 1 for 2. And he looks at a strike. Seventh inning. Pence takes a breaking ball. It's 0-2. Belt is on deck. Got him on 3 pitches.
Change up, nasty right there.
It's the 10th Giant that has struck out this afternoon. So here's Belt. Belt is 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice fly.
Take a look at how he worked him. 95 outside, then he went down below the zone and got him on 2 off-speed pitches.
Belt takes a strike. I mentioned tomorrow's an off day. It's always kind of try to dissect whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. If you're struggling, here's Alves going to put it away. Well, assuming, look, let's assume the Giants are going to lose this game. That would be 3 losses in a row. Are you happy you have tomorrow off, or you want to get out there and try to get back on track? And my opinion is you play. Let's play.
Yeah, and I think all the Giants would agree with that. I think there are exceptions to it. When you have a guy like Posey who's got a little ding in his thumb, he might benefit from the other day off. That's why he was not in the lineup today. They say that he will pitch Tuesday. Johnny Cueto is going to be back off the disabled list.
This is tapped to second, and Tomlinson is thrown out. 7-1 Padres.
area is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Here in San Diego, a 7-1 lead for the Padres. Yeah, Andrew McCutchen had quite a game on this last and only homestand. He had 6 hits. He had a walk-off.
You know, Alex Pavlovich found out that a family of Giants fans came out to the game to celebrate their son's birthday. And they had a long drive home, so when the game reached the 13th inning, they started to leave, and that's the kid's favorite player was Andrew McCutchen. He had a walk-off in the 14th, so McCutchen signed the baseball for him with an important message. Never leave a game early.
Well, you made a good point. He wasn't driving.
Yeah, I mean, he did make the call.
I mean, this is what it looked like. And that was the end of a long night. And it was quite a night.
Well, a night to remember, too. I mean, a 6-hit day and a walk-off home run for Andrew McCutchen to do it against the rival Dodgers. A moment that he won't forget, nor will any Giants fan. And that baseball, I'm sure, will be on that young man's mantle for a long time.
Here's Headley facing Derek Law. Overshift is on for Headley, and there's a called strike. Headley's been on base twice. Struck out, walked, and he was hit by a pitch. So a quick 0-2 to Headley.
The 4 pitches that Law has, the fastball, the slider, the curveball, and changeup, they're all swing and miss pitches.
And a bit high. Or he did pitch two innings on Thursday. That was the game the Giants won. And Headley's out taking, I beg your pardon. If you're a hitter, out swinging would be better. Especially if you're now 1 for 25. That'll make you chew on your bat.
And it really wasn't a bad call either. I mean, it was right down the middle.
Spangenberg takes a strike.
Good first pitch changeup.
Hedges is on deck. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Look out. I don't know how it didn't hit him. It's 2-1. Spangenberg doubled off of Beatty in the 4th inning. Not a bad pitch, called wide, 3-1. This is just about the time that age starts to. There's a walk. Starts to get a little anxious.
Well, you always said if you can keep them fed, you can keep them hanging in there.
Yeah. 6 walks now issued by Giants pitching. Hedges is 0 for 3. With Matt Caesar on deck. Swing. And gonna miss. So it was Beatty who started. He went 3 2/3. And then Osich. Actually, then it was Maranta who pitched 1 inning. Hedges strikes out. Osich started the 5th inning. 1 pitch, and Villanueva hit it out of the park. Here's Caesar, batting for the 2nd time. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes. The story of the day is the weather around Major Leagues. I know we've talked about it a number of times, but I think this is probably unprecedented as to the number of games that have been postponed. There's a called strike.
We saw the storm on the Doppler, and it started in Canada and went down to Cuba. Just one solid line going across the country. I mean, it was really an unusually large storm.
Yeah, it was in a straight line. See how that thing is moving. Yeah, it is inching its way to the East Coast.
Well, the other oddity was the fact that they've already called the Red Sox game tomorrow in Boston. The Yankees, they were in Detroit. They lost 2 games today, and they start a homestand tomorrow. The Mets are in New York, and this is supposed to be 100% rain and 100% nasty. A lot of P's up there. Postpone, postpone, postpone.
Three and 2 to Matt Caesar. And a bouncy ball off of Law. Belt's going to try to beat Caesar to the bag. He can't do it. So that'll be a base hit.
Like it hit off the right foot as he follows through, or maybe the left ankle. But I tell you, we've seen some good speed from these Padres. It really doesn't. It really surprises me they don't have more stolen bases. They've only got 4 as a team. But Spangenberg, Caesar, Asuaje, Galvis, I mean, they get down that line quick. They put pressure on a defense. Belt never had a chance. And when you take a ball off your shin, I mean, it's hard to get going to first base to cover the bag if you're Derek Law.
So here's Pirella. Pirella bounced out twice to third, and then after that he's doubled and singled. Scored a couple of runs. And he drives this one to right. And it's going to be over the head of McCutcheon. And it's going to score 1. And Caesar's coming in. It's going to score 2. And Pirella's got a triple. So that's 2 RBIs. A total of 3 now in the game for Pirella.
Well, a fastball out over the plate and up. And one thing that Perella has impressed us with is how he uses the whole field.
Galvis takes a called strike. And the next pitch is down and in. Three of the 6 walks issued in this game have scored. And all 3 of those have started the rallies. It's 2-2. Galvis has 1 hit in 2 at-bats. He's walked twice. Tap foul. See the Rangers put Tim Lincecum on the 60-day disabled list. So they must figure it's going to be a while for our friend Tim Lincecum.
Wow. I don't like to hear that news.
No, I don't either. And another 3-2 count. And the walk. Ohtani is scheduled to pitch Tuesday. So if you do the math,
Sunday
against the Giants.
But they got rained out today in Kansas City. So I don't know how that's going to affect them. Are they on a 6-man rotation? I mean, I think if you're a baseball fan, you want to see him. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani. Wow.
So Kurt Young departs. If you're keeping track of mound visits, which you shouldn't be.
I know.
The Giants have 2 left.
You know what I was at the start of the year? I thought that was a big deal, but nah. I think it's a great rule.
Cordero takes low. Panic is going to have this one roll away from him. A run comes in.
You know what? That's what happens. You have a lot of walks, and all of a sudden you penalize your defense. Now, Joe Kennick to tell you should have that ball. He's a Gold Glove second baseman, and he should have. But walks do nothing but penalize your defense.
Here's Villanueva. One ball and no strikes. Dodgers put Logan Forsythe on the DL. Isn't quite a big a deal as it used to be, as Mike mentioned earlier. The 10-day disabled list, as that's foul back. If you have an off day or two, you might miss 8 games. The Diamondbacks put Taijuan Walker on the disabled list. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Pulled foul. I see some pictures on Twitter of, say, the Twins and the Indians are headed to Puerto Rico.
Head to Puerto Rico.
And literally, the pictures, they're dressed like they're going to Puerto Rico in, you know, the short sleeve shirts. That pitch is inside with their travel bags, and they're walking through snow to get to their chartered plane.
I think they've kind of had a little theme. The Minnesota Twins did, as a group, to kind of dress accordingly to the style of clothes you would wear in Puerto Rico. They all had the little Panama hats on.
White linen, walking through snow. It's a good look. Foul at the plate.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool, I got to tell you.
Yeah, it was great.
Giants had to make that trip one time, play at Bithorn Stadium there in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that was the year that the Giants had A.J. Przinsky. He hit a home run to win one of those games. And that'll finally end the inning. 8th inning coming up. By your Northern California Ford dealers. And it's all about Joey Lucchese, who was fabulous. He struck out 9. He got a little bit of trouble in the second and again in the fourth, but he pitched his way through it. And he only allowed 1 run. So he had a good outing. So congratulations, Joey Lucchese. You're going to be shocked at what you're going to get.
Well, yeah, but he was impressive. And for a guy that grew up in the Bay Area to have that type of an outing against one of the Bay Area teams, it's got to feel pretty good.
Here's Pablo Sandoval hitting, facing Kyle McGrath.
McGrath just called up from their AAA affiliate, El Paso.
One ball and one strike. Austin Jackson is on deck.
McGrath was one of those guys that really had a nice spring training. Put himself on the map, and then, hey, with the injuries that happen to clubs, first opportunity, whoop, big leagues.
You see, his velocity is not something that's going to impress you, but he does come right over the top, just like the old pitching machines. Up down the left field line. That's a fair ball. And the ball girl grabbed it. So it'll be a double.
Stay hot, Pablo Sandoval. Let's take a look at where the pitch was. Just a little lazy breaking ball right over the middle of the plate. Sandoval. Yep. Nice play. Oops. Oh, sorry.
My bad.
Sorry.
Here's Jackson.
Put it right in the sweet spot, though.
Yeah, she did. I guarantee you, when the people that are in charge of the ball girls down the line, I guarantee you that the first thing they tell them, not the second or third, but the first thing, is make sure the ball is fouled. And she didn't.
That's all right.
And, you know, look, if I'm this guy, I'm telling her the same thing. I thought it was foul, too.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2 to Jackson. Got him. And that'll bring up Panic.
Well, Joe Panis had kind of an odd day. He's hit the ball 3 times to the first baseman.
It's almost like he and Headley have something going on. McCutcheon's on deck. This pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. What we used to call the old, what, Iron Mike? Is that what it was?
Yeah, the old Iron Mike.
The old pitching machine.
It's a pitching machine that was literally a 12-6 arm action that came at you, and the ball was straight as a string.
Yeah. Hit on the ground again to Headley. 2 outs. I have to tell you, I like hitting off a old Iron Mike better than the old rubber wheels.
Well, yeah, the rubber jugs gun. That's when somebody decided that, hey, we could make a breaking ball. 2 tires that spit out at you. I mean, the Iron Mike would give you some arm action. You could at least gauge. I mean, also the jugs gun would just go pooey and spit a seed at you.
And couldn't throw it straight. So here's McCutcheon. And McCutcheon takes high. 1 ball and no strikes. But I'll tell you what about the Iron Mikes is they were dangerous. People got hurt all the time. Not by actually being hit with the ball, but being hit with that arm. There's a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, it was not a safe thing. If you were the guy in charge of feeding the balls, you'd sit you behind a little screen and get the ball sheet. And it was just a violent arm action.
It really was.
They still have him.
And that pitch is off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Now they have them in clubhouses where they have a guy's image, and you'll see the actual guy in his motion. And then as he throws the arm at you, the ball comes out, and that's what you're hitting off of. So you get an idea of where the ball's coming from.
You go to these batting cages that they have where you put the quarters in. There's the motion.
That's a circle changeup, and that's a high over the top iron Mike release.
And they have a little hole in the wall. The ball comes out of the hole.
Pooey! Spits at you.
And there's a walk. How are you going to time that?
First time we ever saw the Jugs gun, we turned, because you could control speeds on both tires. One would be 40 miles an hour, the other would be 60 miles an hour. Would put some spin on it, you get a little break on it, and then you could kind of angle it to a 45-degree angle, whatever, and make it look like a breaking ball. But if you turn them both up to like 100 miles an hour, you get a 100-mile-an-hour knuckleball. And it was, it was.
Well, they instead of hitting fungos to the outfielders, they'd set up the Jugs gun. Here's Hundley. Hundley takes a strike. Hundley's got 2 hits. Sandoval at third. McCutcheon at first. And Hundley looks at a strike to make it 0-2. That's Sandoval and McCutcheon. In tight.
RBI opportunity for Nick Hundley.
Yeah, he needs one. He needs to fill up the column in that stat sheet. All back.
Well, he's taking it at bat serious. I think it's a 10-1 ball game. The guys phone it in, not so fast. Guys don't get up here by phoning stuff in.
Down the left field line, foul, not by much. Yeah, she was getting out of the way.
Yeah, she's still thinking about it.
She is.
She's wearing it hard.
Oh, rule number 1.
It's okay. It's a 10-1 ball game. They forgive you.
Good for us. Gave us something to talk about.
Yeah.
Two and two. And that'll end the inning. So McGrath with 2 strikeouts. scored first. And there's the new pitcher.
Well, it's become a maintenance game for the Giants, and Hunter Strickland needs an inning. So he's going to get some work as the Giants will head into an off day after this one. Numbers for Strickland really has been very good. He's had one bump in the road. And the goals are starting to sneak in. You got to watch them. They're sneaking. And they will duck. Yep. Yep. If they think you're looking at it. If they think you're looking at them.
They've come a long way.
Yeah.
McGrath takes a healthy rip.
Well, they follow the Giants in the eternal search for hot dogs. Season ticket holder.
At the knees. Another again, 2. Headley's on deck. Tomlinson to Belt.
Well, Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the San Francisco Giants into your X1 voice remote. Get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1.
Here's Headley. Headley is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. He has been on base twice. He walked in the 4th, was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Mentioned earlier, the Giants will see the Padres again when the Giants get home after this road trip. As far as coming back to San Diego, as it'll be Belt to Strickland. Giants will be back on July 30th for just a 2-game series. And then back, as you would figure, in September. On September 17th, 18th, and 19th. Here's Spangenberg. Of course, we've documented this probably too much, but they'll be taking on the Dodgers again at home
for 4
on the next homestand. There's a foul back.
Which will feature a doubleheader, makeup game with a rain out. You know, I mean, when you're in the West Coast, you have a tendency to kind of just not pay attention to too many rainouts in the Midwest or the East. But I'd like to know how this year and all the rainouts we've seen around baseball has compared to other years, because it just seems like there's a ton this year.
I think this year's leading the pack already.
The Giants had their first rainout since 2006.
The next trip for the Giants, where they'll actually be on the other side of the Mississippi, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh, and that'll be the first week of May. Weather could be bad then, as far as being cold. Look out to the back foot, 2-2.
Well, winter was so mild on the West Coast for the most part, and then all of a sudden, about the last 6 weeks, holy cow. Seen all kinds of weather. Rain, thankfully. But the rainouts happen so infrequently on the West Coast. We're talking about all the teams.
Well, it's plus you end up having to mess with your rotation. You have to find another guy maybe to pitch, but you've got 3 starters on the DL already. It is going to give some minor league guys an opportunity. And that'll end the inning. So we'll go to the 9th. He's watching. It's 10-1 Padres. The 9th inning. It has been all San Diego today, and Kyle McGrath is set to work his 2nd inning of relief. And Gregor Blanco is going to get his first at bat today. Having a great start to this season. And really, it's nothing that should surprise us given the amount of success he had in spring training. And he had to have it. He had to have a good spring to make the club. He did, and he's taken that good swing right into the season. Just a bit outside. So a ball and a strike to Gregor Blanco. One and two. Giants have struck out 12 times in the game today. Lucchese had 9 of them.
Oh, he was fantastic. See the wristbands with the number 42 on it, the patch on the shoulder of the uniform, number 42.
Hit into center field, something behind it. Cordero back and in front of the wall. He'll make the catch. 1 out.
I thought for just a second they had a chance to go.
Here's Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence had a base hit in the 4th. But before that and after that, Hunter Pence has struck out. Here he hits a high pop-up to the left side. It'll be Galvis who's making the call and the catch. 2 down. And it'll be up to Belt to extend this game. And the pitch. Belt takes low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Talk about the patches that they have on the number 42. Well, they have socks too. Brandon Belt has them on. McGrath, the pitcher, has them on.
Belt hits one high to right, but it's tracked down by Perella, and that's the ball game. So very disappointing for the Giants, and they know it. You win the first game of this series, and you do it convincingly, and you think, well, this is going to be great, and it turned out that they lost the very next 3.
Well, the Padres continue to have magic on the Giants. The Giants cannot win a series here. They haven't won one since May of 2016. The good news, however, they got Evan Longoria back. He has got his swing going, and that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. All right, here at Petco Park, in front of a crowd of over 34,000, the final score, the Padres 10 and the Giants 1. Stay tuned for Giants